and columnist for The Hill, Sirius XM political talk show host Pete Dominick, and Democratic strategist John Rowley. Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
First question, Newt Gingrich isn't sweating his fluctuating poll numbers, saying there's more than 3 tickets out of Iowa. Listen.
If you come in fourth, will you stay in the race?
Oh, sure. That would bother.
So there are more than 3 tickets out of Iowa?
Oh, sure. Well, I mean, it depends on what happens. It depends what the margins are. But, yeah, there's more than 3 tickets. Considering that I'm 20 points ahead in some other states, it would be fairly foolish for me not to stay in the race. It is a long way from here to picking a nominee.
How much does Newt need Iowa? Cheri.
You know, if he can come in fourth, that's really effectively a third place, because I think that we have to put Ron Paul in a different category. I don't really look at him as being in the same category as the other candidates. So I think that Newt can live to fight another day and do quite well. You know, what really hurt him, I think, was the perceived arrogance that he had. But then people have to remember that our nominee on the Republican side is going to be going up against a guy with extreme arrogance, Barack Obama, one of the worst presidents in a century, who thinks he's in the top 4. So a healthy ego on the Republican side is probably going to be a good thing when you look at the outrageous ego of the current occupant of the White House.
John.
Newt Gingrich is delusional. He's going to go down as one of the most volatile presidential candidates the Republicans have seen since Barry Goldwater. He reminds me of a character in a Monty Python film, The Holy Grail. And there's a knight in the Holy Grail that has had both arms, both legs cut off, and announces, "It is but a flesh wound." Well, Newt dropping 15 points in the polls is not a flesh wound, and he's going to go down as one of the dumbest smart guys in American political history.
All right. Great scene, by the way, that one. Pete, what do you think?
Well, I think Cheri had a good point, but his arrogance isn't perceived. It's real. People really think this about Newt Gingrich. People who know him think this about Newt Gingrich. He acts like he doesn't need anybody's help to get in the White House. He can just will it. Yeah, there's probably more than 3 tickets out of Iowa, but Newt Gingrich's ticket's going to take him right back to Virginia, where he's from, and where he can't even vote for himself because he didn't get on the ballot there. Does anybody really think he ever took this presidential run more serious than just trying to sell books? I've never understood it. I really haven't.
All right, question number 2. Rick Santorum's got momentum, of course, because he's fresh off a bump in the Iowa polls. He's tripled his support. He's trying to capitalize on it, and he's put out a new radio ad, and he says he's ready for the race ahead. Here he is on John King USA. Listen.
This isn't my first rodeo. I've been through very, very tough campaigns, big national scrutiny types of campaigns in the state of Pennsylvania. Most of the media says that Mitt Romney is a guy that can beat President Obama. But what history does Mitt Romney have of beating anybody as a conservative?
So what is Santorum's battle plan beyond Iowa, John?
Well, there's one brutal irony for Rick Santorum. A few months ago, I don't think anybody thought he had a chance to win. Now he's in danger of actually performing well, but coming in under expectations, because some are even talking about Rick Santorum winning Iowa. So I think, A, he needs to keep expectations lowered going into Iowa. 2, he's got to broaden his appeal beyond just the evangelical base. And then he probably needs a good battle plan going into South Carolina, where his socially conservative message has a very good chance of taking hold with that electorate.
Okay, and Cheri, what is Santorum's battle plan beyond Iowa, do you think?
You know, I have to agree with a lot of that. If he can beat the expectations game on Tuesday, then he comes out being able to draw in a lot of media attention and a lot of money, which is going to be important. And then if he can, you know, as he does go into South Carolina, that will be where he has his best shot. But, you know, this is his time. He's going into Tuesday on a positive, on a high. So he could be, I don't know if it's going to be a full-on wild card, but if he does well and hangs in there, then you're going to see Perry and Bachman, you know, sort of fall by the wayside, and Rick Santorum will be, you know, the next guy in line after Romney.
Okay, Pete Dominick, beyond Iowa, Santorum, what happened?
Well, there's nothing beyond Iowa for Santorum. I think that he popped just at the right time. I attribute that to the sweater vest look, very presidential, Rick. But the truth is, the only reason he's so popular in Iowa is because those 2 issues of equality for gay and lesbian Americans and abortion really matter to those 120,000 evangelical voters in Iowa. But this is Mitt Romney's dream. Rick Santorum is the only person who can make Mormonism look less crazy with his brand of evangelical Christianity that compares gay sex to polygamy and incest. best. He's nutso, and he's going to make Mitt Romney look great in New Hampshire.
Well, your buzzer beater now. 20 seconds each. American Idol Kelly Clarkson endorses Ron Paul. She tweeted this. I love Ron Paul. If he wins the nomination for the Republican Party in 2012, he's got my vote. Too bad he probably won't. It sent many of her followers, by the way, into a tizzy. But if you're a Republican candidate looking to seal up Iowa, which celebrity endorsement would you want, Cheri?
You know, if you get a big political name like Chris Christie, like Romney has out there today, that's good. But in terms of the Hollywood celebrities, you don't want anybody. Look, you got to understand Midwesterners, particularly Iowans. I spent a few months out there running a campaign, a congressional campaign, a million years ago, and you can swing a dead cat, and you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a candidate running for president in Iowa. They're very used to it. They want you in their living room several times. They don't care about celebrity endorsements. They want you there.
All right, and John, what do you think? Which celebrity endorsement would work for one of these GOP candidates in Iowa?
But they probably want someone without a Twitter account, and I think celebrity rehab is probably in order for this field, given how much rehabbing of their image and the operations of their campaigns. But in reality, given how important the socially conservative vote and the evangelical vote is, a dream endorsement, an endorsement that anybody in this field would push a P with their nose from Iowa to New Hampshire for would be Tim Tebow.
Pete Dominic.
Well, first of all, Kelly Clarkson supporters are going to be really disappointed, Hala, when they find out they can only vote one time, and it can't be by text. She's a game show winner. I give her credit for going out there and saying what she believes politically. The truth is, there is no celebrity that could help any of these candidates because anybody who would help them is dead. John Wayne, Charlton Heston. If it were somebody, I guarantee it'd be some old white tough guy, you know? That'll really put him over. But anybody who cares what a celebrity thinks shouldn't be voting.
All right, thanks for playing to all three of you. Cheri Jacobus, John Rowley, Pete Dominic. Thanks to you all.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year to you as well.